And hello there, all you stay tuners. Hey, listen,
It might be Eagles. I hate the Eagles. Don't get me wrong here.
First quarter, keep it even. Second quarter, start running the fucking ball. Third quarter, take a power nap. Fourth quarter, oh shit, there's the rest of the game. Let's go.
Fuck it, I'm a diabetic. I will root for the team that will literally give me diabetes and death. Rooting for a team from Hershey is like a Catholic rooting for Satan. It doesn't make any sense.
This is Stay Tuned Sports, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here with our good buddy, damn it, King. I was trying to remember the right to left, left to right, and I still fucked it up.
Because that's it. See, remember, I got my Giant shirt on. It goes this way. You're over this way.
Yeah.
So if you're pointing over this way. So,
But see, now with me looking at you doing that, you point to my
so
left.
you don't
I
know,
went
because I
left.
don't know if you're flipped or not. I know I'm flipped with the way the camera is working now, but you're trying to figure out. Doesn't matter. Hey man, look at me. I'm live here in Las Vegas. If you can't see, look right outside the window here. You know, there's a window.
It's a window.
It's not television.
Yeah.
There's a window. See, I'm flying around. It's like a drone shot. I'm like, ooh, man, this is pretty cool.
And you know, on the strip there, I just saw I think I saw a coyote all the way down the strip there playing some blackjacks. Blackjack, not blackjacks.
Here's that could go. We're just going to move along from that one. We're just going to move along from that one. Okay. How dare you? In February of all months, you got to go ahead and do that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Shame on you. I want to know. I want to know who got attacked by the coyote.
So do I.
We haven't figured out. Nobody's come up with that. We don't know who yet. We just know that somebody got wrecked by a coyote.
Yeah. And we don't know if it's a former player. It's obviously not a 49er or a Chiefs player because I don't think there's anybody really on the injury report to report.
I thought it was the way they made it sounded like it was somebody on one of the teams.
Oh, yeah. Because like when it first came out, I saw it said both. It said first tweet I saw said former NFL player, and that's when I joined onto the McAfee show, and he's talking about punting the freaking jaw of a coyote, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then he went more into it, but they're nasty fuckers too, though.
Okay, no, you don't want to mess with coyotes. They're nasty little bastards. They are. I remember I want to say like 10, 15 years ago, they killed that one singer up in Canada.
Yeah.
Doing that stuff. Like they're mean. They smell. They're gross. They're not pets. They're not things you pet. They're not things that you're like, oh, they're cute. No, coyotes are vicious little bastards.
Yeah.
Not the ones from Arizona. Apparently they suck. And they've been trying to get them to move somewhere else for a couple of years now. Little hockey humor kicking off here. But yeah, so it's been, like nothing huge.
No.
To kick off this Super Bowl week, as it were. But here we are. It's Super Bowl week, Jimbo. We're here the very last football week of the year. A time of great joy for some people, a time of celebration for some people, also a time of sadness and a bit of anxiety because football season's over.
And I remember before week one, the episode that we aired, we said, enjoy it while it lasts because yes, it's 18 games, but it's gonna fly. And sure enough, here it is.
Here it is. We are at the end of the road, and here we are again for what is it? The second time in 4 years. Same matchup: 49ers and the Chiefs, and a lot of people were unhappy about that when everything went down. We talked about it a little bit last week. Sorry we missed it here on YouTube. We had some technical difficulties as it happens when you're recording a show on your phone, like I do here. But still, we were able to talk about it. If you were able to go ahead and listen to us on Spotify, Podbean, all the other podcast places you can go. We talked about it a little bit, how this was something that people didn't want to, or said like, oh, they didn't want this matchup. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I'm not doing that. And we called them out for their bullshit because, of course, you're going to watch. Of course you are. You're lying to yourself if you're not watching.
Yeah.
You can come up with all the excuses you want. I'm tired of the Chiefs. I don't like this team. Oh, this team is boring. Oh, we're going to have to suffer through Taylor Swift. Everything else you want to do. you're watching. And if anything, I think the numbers this year are going to be astronomical.
Do you think it's going to be what Goodell said? 200 million people watching?
I think you can get there.
Because
I think you get there. Like the early estimates were somewhere between like 125 and 150.
And here's the other thing that people got remember too. It's not just going to be the numbers from watching on broadcast, whatever. They're also putting it on, I believe, Paramount Plus. They're going to stream it too, right?
It's Paramount Plus because Paramount Plus broadcasts most of the national TV games.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So it'll be on there. It's going to be on Nickelodeon. They're going to have the Slime Time broadcast there.
I'm going to be flipping between that one because that was pretty cool last year.
For kids to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to boost some numbers. Then, listen, the subject that everybody loves talking about, the fact that Taylor Swift is going to be there is going to bring a lot more eyeballs to the game that normally wouldn't watch it. Even for people wouldn't even like the Swiftie that you would imagine, both young ladies, girls, young adults wouldn't watch it anyway, even for the commercials. Some people say, "Oh, I watch it for the commercials." A lot of these Swifties, they wouldn't even watch it for the commercials. They're doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But now they are going to be watching it, so that's going to boost a lot of numbers. So I think you take all those things in, the fact that it is going to be streaming, the fact that it is going to be on Nickelodeon, the fact that, Taylor Swift is going to be there and she's going to pull in a lot of Swifties. You add all these things together, there's a chance this hits 200 million. At some point, maybe the average may not be 200 million, but they might get a peak.
I was going to say,
200 million.
Yeah.
They might get a peak of 200 million. If that happens, dude, you think the NFL is rich now.
Yep.
Because here's the other thing is, I don't know if you saw the news earlier this week about the Philadelphia Eagles starting their season next year, week 1. Brazil, baby. No, that's Mexico. I don't know. I think I just did something incredibly racist. I apologize if I did. But it is going to start there. But that is also a game that is an auction game, much the playoff game this year that was on Peacock exclusively.
Yeah,
because that was an auction game. I believe NBC Peacock paid somewhere like $110 million just for that game.
Yeah.
So this is going to be that game down there in Brazil too. Is going to be that. It's going to be an auction game. And here's the thing: it's open to anybody.
Okay.
It's not just the broadcast partners.
So we could put an opening bid in for $5 and have a chance at it.
I've always admired your optimism, Jimbo. When it came to whether it's the 2012 national championship game with Notre Dame and Alabama, whether it's this idea that we could broadcast an NFL game at all. I always admire your optimism. But that's the other thing that I find intriguing here is that you can get something like someone who is not your traditional NFL broadcast partner to broadcast the game, so long as they pony up the right amount of money. Yeah. I don't know if any of them will, but you could have TNT do it. Yeah. Like TNT might put in for it, or I would imagine it's probably going to be one of your big ones, your CBS's, Fox, ESPN. ABC, ESPN, Amazon. Something like that. I'm sure NBC or NBC Peacock will also be in there as well.
Yeah.
But you never know. And here's the thing, as we've seen with other things, could Netflix put in a bid? We've already seen them now go ahead and pick up WWE Raw starting next year.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do more live programming. As you've seen, they've done a couple of live comedy specials and stuff like that. So they're trying to dip their toes in that. Does Netflix make a push to put an NFL game on their platform?
Yeah.
This is intriguing on how that's going to go. But my whole point with that is, if the NFL pulls a 200 million number at any point during Super Bowl Sunday, money is going to flow in for these guys.
Yeah.
Like, you think they're already getting it? Like, they're making billions of dollars from CBS, from NBC, from Fox, from ESPN, ABC, from Amazon.
Yeah.
They're pulling in all these other sources of billions and billions and billions of
Billions.
dollars. If they start pulling those kind of numbers, they're going to do it again. And then you're also going to see a lot more on streaming. You're going to see a lot of stuff like that, and that's going to be another point of contention.
Yeah.
When we get to that, but it is going to be. I mean, that's where we're going with this. Is high profile games, primetime games, things like that are going to be moved and pushed and promoted on streaming more than just broadcast too, because I mean, especially if these places pay for it. If NBC wants more people to subscribe to Peacock, they're going to start doing that more.
And it's funny you brought that up, because with Goodell having his media scrum or whatever you want to call it, how he talked about the question was about the wild card game being on Peacock, and basically he said, if you really look at how everything's going, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the streaming apps. And I think the very next day, ESPN, Fox, and TNT all said they were going to come up with a streaming service of their own.
They want to do a sports-only streaming service that has their sports on it. So like NHL, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, anything like that, it would be all on one app. And this is the thing I think where people are starting to get frustrated, because like the streaming idea, the streaming services, to get them to cut the cord, to move on from cable and do stuff like that, is the problem is now to watch anything that you want to watch, you're paying just the same amount, if not more, than you would have for cable.
Yeah.
And it's really up in the air whether the service is better or not. It's really up in the air whether it's worth it or not for a lot of people. And now that's becoming a bigger hassle. So like I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what the solution is when it comes to all these different companies now doing all these different streaming ideas, and because that's it. ESPN already has ESPN Plus and all those other things. So what you're saying now is you want to create another streaming service, where you put your stuff on. But is the stuff that you put on ESPN Plus also going to be on this app, or is this going to be two separate apps of ESPN Plus and then whatever this other joint venture app is, where you're putting your other sports on? Like, is that going to be in any way connected? Is there going to be like what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I think that's the frustration that comes from it, is that in theory, it's a good idea, but nobody's really explained it well or well enough for people to really be excited for it or be really on board with it. It's just when you announce something like that, it just becomes another, oh, Jesus Christ, another streaming platform. And it's starting to get a little bit streaming fatigue.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I get like maybe Marvel fatigue, like superhero movie fatigue. Like it's becoming too much, and people are starting to be turned off by it. So but in the end, if they provide the sports, if they go ahead and pull that kind of stuff and put it together, and if it's even halfway decent, people will sign up for it, people will pay for it, and they will make money. So and
that's the thing, like you said, that like Goodell said, Peacock was $5.99 for that month. Okay, $6. Oh yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, well now you're gonna go to Disney Plus, that they're gonna have week 7 on. Well, Disney Plus is $10.99. Okay, yeah, it's only 16 now together with those, and then you add 2-3 more, like you said, you're back up to $70, $80, $90 combined for the apps.
This is where they need to tread carefully when it comes to the NFL, and they usually do. Yeah, like I said, they've done well this year with their stuff, like Thursday Night Football on Amazon. I think that's suffering not because it's on Amazon, but because the games on Thursday night suck ass.
Yeah,
I think I think that's the big thing when it comes to the Amazon games, when it comes to Thursday night games. But for as much as people bitched and moaned about the Chiefs and Dolphins wildcard game being on Peacock exclusively and only on there, did numbers.
Yeah.
It did numbers. People got the app to watch it. So in that sense, it worked, and if it works, it's going to be repeated. If it works, people are going to copy it.
Yeah.
If it works, they're going to do it again. So, like, this almost reminds me of people who complain about, so like, who complain, oh, the NFL's rigged and that other stuff, or oh, there's too much Taylor Swift, I can't do it, or oh, there's too many commercials, I can't do this. That you hear a lot of people say this. You go on social media, you hear nothing on it. Everything is NFL's rigged, too many commercials, too many streaming apps, too much Taylor Swift, fuck it all. But the NFL is still pulling in better numbers than they ever had.
Yeah.
So, and you think about also the other people who are like, I'll never watch it again. They kneeled, and all the politics and stuff that got into it from a couple of years ago. And the NFL numbers did dip there for a second, but now they're back to being better than ever.
Yeah.
So again, it's this idea that people are loud, people complain about it, and people think, oh my God, nobody is doing anything but complaining about this. But at the end of the day, everybody's watching it. So you can tell just by that loud vocal minority really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of what's actually happening. So when it comes to these things, now this is again to the other point. I think the NFL and Goodell need to tread carefully, and I think they will. I think they understand not to overdo the streaming, not to make it to where it will be, become perceived as becoming a pay-per-view kind of situation with the NFL. Because I think that's the big worry now that people have and what they're complaining about is that, oh, the NFL is going to become pay-per-view. It's going to become, oh, if you want to watch this game, you have to sign up for this thing, and you have to pay for this game, and you have to do all this and that and the other. I don't think it's going to be that yet. And maybe at some point it does. Maybe at some point Sunday Ticket on YouTube comes. Like some people are saying they want it to be a la carte.
Okay.
for Sunday Ticket, where you just pay for the game you want. Here's the other thing, though. I think if they do that, because they were trying to say, oh, it'd be much cheaper if we just paid, for the games we want and not for the whole package. Listen, if you think that YouTube is going to make it cheaper for you just to buy a game or two over just the overall package, that's not going to happen. If you buy the overall package, I think it's like $500.
Yeah.
For a Sunday Ticket. But if you want to just buy like a game or something, I guarantee you they're going to charge like $50 a game.
Yeah.
Or even not. Maybe it's like $39.95. It's $40.
Yeah.
They'll probably do something like that. So when you think about it, at the end of the day, if you just want to watch this one team or this one game through Sunday Ticket, and you're like, I don't want to buy any other games. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's probably going to be cheaper for you just to get the overall package anyway.
Yeah.
So, do that. The only thing I would like to see them do is offer Red Zone separate.
That would be cool.
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah. And then like that one, you could do $100 for the year. Something like that.
Exactly. Like do 100, 150 or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But where I'm not paying $500 for all these other games that I may not watch. I just want to watch Red Zone.
Yeah.
That's what I want to have on. Like if the Giants aren't on or anything like that, I want to turn on Red Zone because I enjoy it. I personally miss Siciliano. I think he was better at it than Hansen. No disrespect to Mr. Hansen, but I think you suck. Personally, like I no disrespect. I just think Siciliano's better. But be that as it may, like I would like to see something like that. Like if we're going to do like a separate tier system.
Yeah.
But again, we're kind of getting lost on here. I think I don't see the NFL going that way as far as like a pay-per-view system.
Yeah.
But clearly the streaming is working.
Yeah.
And when you're the NFL and you're this powerful and you can pull in numbers no matter where you are, it's going to get top dollar. Like I said, you think the NFL is rich now, man. It's only getting richer.
Kind of speaking about Goodell's media scrum, Again, watching Pat McAfee's show, Goodell's commented a little bit about the kickoff, fair catch rule, and he slipped in about the punt. Do you think he was thinking about getting rid of the punt? The punt
What
play?
did he say exactly about the punt? I missed this.
So he said obviously he didn't really come out and say that the fair catch thing didn't work, but he basically
On
said
kickoffs, yes, I know they're talking about getting rid of the fair catch on kickoffs.
And he said that how did he say it? He said he wants the game to be more exciting, even if that means we gotta look at punt the punt play as well. And Pat McAfee took that as, are you talking about getting rid of the play altogether, get rid of kickoff, get rid of punt, like basically get rid of special teams? Do you think it would be a bad idea to get rid of punting?
Yes.
And because here's the other thing too, that they made a good point.
You can't get rid of punting. You can't get rid of punting. Like, what would you do?
And that's what they were trying to say.
Let's say you got fourth down on your own 1.5 yard line.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't go for it.
You have to go for it.
Exactly. Like, so if
you don't get it, the team basically gets it right there in the end. Like, you can't, like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's what he was implying. Maybe he's implying modifying a fair catch rule for the punt. Maybe you don't have a fair catch within a certain thing. Maybe you don't, try to encourage either run backs or something like that. Maybe you do a halo, a 5 yards so that you allow the punter, the punt receiver to catch it and try to make a return, do something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's alluding to as far as making it more exciting, because I know that's what they were talking about with the kickoff as well, is the fair catch didn't work for kickoffs, which we could have fucking told you that before you even implemented it, but whatever.
Yeah.
So it's all but certain that that's going to be removed going into this year. Now, I know there's been a lot of talk about them trying out the XFL kickoff, which I know Pat doesn't like and some other people don't like. And maybe that's also what they start doing too with doing the XFL punts. I think the XFL kind of has a punt thing too, where if it goes out of bounds at a certain, like, you can't kick it out of bounds within the 20, like you can't do like a coffin corner.
Okay.
Like, you have to kick it to where there is a return.
Okay.
Like, and if you kick it out of bounds, then it goes to like the 35 or 40 or some weird shit like that. I don't know. So maybe that's something they're talking about. Maybe that's what they're looking for, both on kickoff and on punts, or doing something like that to make it more engaging and not just anything like that. Although, I think that would upset Pat too, because now you're removing the art of the coffin corner.
Yeah.
Which is a skill. That's a definite skill that punters and kickers have. So, I think there's a lot. The NFL has to skirt the line between fun, entertaining, fast, and, let's be honest, violent entertainment, and doing the player safety thing now because of everything that happened with the CTE and the concussion protocols and investigations and all this kind of stuff. Because after all that stuff, they had to cover their ass. They have to.
Yeah.
So they have to come out and say, we're doing all we can within the realm of possibility to make the sport as safe as possible while still keeping it entertaining. Like that, they have to present that.
Yeah.
And as much as we sit here and like to say, well, the game sucks a lot now because anytime somebody breathes on somebody, it's a flag. You can't hit a receiver now anymore. They're getting flags. Like a guy got thrown out of the game and got suspended for a game for what was essentially a legitimate hit on a receiver. When you look at things like that. But I've seen people cry both ways. People cry about, oh, the NFL doesn't care about its players. They don't care about its players. And the same people will then sit there and say, oh, but, this game is boring now. Oh, you can't even hit anybody. It's like, you can't have it both ways. You literally can't have it both ways. You have to, if you want it to be safer for the players and the NFL to show like, oh, well, they care about the players, then the violence is going to go down and there's going to be more flags on more questionable plays. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or you can have, a more entertaining, fast, violent game. But then you got to stop bitching about, oh, well, the NFL doesn't care about its players. Like you cannot have it both ways. You cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So, again, Roger's always in a bad spot. I know people like to shit on him, but let's face facts. As a commissioner, he's probably done better for his sport
Oh yeah.
than just
Well,
about any other of the big four commissioners.
just,
Uh,
just think about
yeah.
the numbers they do now compared to what 15 years ago when he started, 20 years ago when he started.
And just think about it. When Tagliabue did retire, like, you didn't think the NFL could get bigger.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't think it. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, they make, when you're like, when they're making like 1.5 to $2 million for the 30-second spots on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that's the networks that make that, not the NFL. But like, you're like, those ratings that they were having, 100 million, 90 million,
Yeah.
105 million. Like, you're like, man, those are incredible numbers. Like, that's insane. And you see all these other things, and now you look at it today and how much it's worth. Like, listen, like, I remember when the Cowboys became the first $1 billion franchise, and everybody's like, wow, $1 billion
Yeah.
for a team that I think Jerry spent, what was it, 300 million for back in 1988 or something.
Yeah,
And
it
that
was
was an incredible number then.
Yeah.
So you look at that, and now you look at the Commanders, one of the most dysfunctional and bad, awfully rebranded teams, with the whole Redskin thing, with Dan Snyder being awful. Like, they don't have a name, they don't have an identity. They've been awful for 30 freaking years.
Yeah.
Their uniforms suck. Like, all these things, and they got sold for $7 billion. $7 billion
Yeah.
for
I mean,
one of the worst franchises.
Granted, it was basketball guys that bought the franchise. Just basketball guys.
Well, I think Ben Johnson. I think there's a lot of things there. Like, if he was set on staying in Detroit, he should have let them know before they hit the air. Now, granted, I know they were going to talk to Aaron Glenn too, and
Yeah.
all this other stuff. But
Just the point.
I don't think, again, he's talking about it just being basketball guys, and he's not sure. He also asked for an exorbitant contract that was like, I don't know what the hell he was thinking there. That wasn't a fit. I don't think it was good on either way. So I think the Commanders dodged the bullet on that one. But, either way, like, again, like we talked about, the NFL is worth so much money now, more than we could have ever thought. And it's only going to continue to grow. It's still growing.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to give Goodell shit, man, but the man runs the league good. Runs the league good.
And let's be honest, I don't think he gives two shits about people giving him shit, especially when he's making $60 million a year.
He's employed by the owners. And as long as his decisions and the things that he does and the way he steers the ship makes them more money, and he is,
Yeah.
that's what's got, like, that's the thing that everybody talks about. It's like, oh, they're going to get him another contract. He's going to have another 5-year contract or 7-year contract or whatever it is. He's making $40 or $60 million over this contract. Like, how's that? Yes, he's making $40 or $60 million with these contracts, like, a year, because he's making everybody in the NFL billions of dollars.
Yep.
Billions of dollars. If you're an owner in the NFL, it's a license to print money.
Yeah.
Even the most poverty owners, like a Mark Davis, like the Spanoses and with the Chargers, they're making money in spite of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's because of Goodell and the NFL and the Shield.
Yeah.
Protect the Shield and market the Shield, and the NFL does that better than anybody. This is why I was saying I want Gary Bettman to gut the NHL marketing department, hire everybody he can that works or has ever worked for the NFL marketing department, get them in there and start marketing the NHL the way the NFL has been, because the NFL is a marketing juggernaut.
Yeah.
And the NHL could learn a thing or two from that, because the NHL is terribly marketed. Great sport. I love hockey probably more than anybody in the world.
Yeah.
But they market the sport terrible. Like we're talking about next weekend, we're going to the Stadium Series game. They didn't release the jerseys until last week, and you can't buy the jerseys because if you bought them, you're not getting them until next month.
Yeah.
After the game's already done. Like, who thought that was a good idea?
And not even just that, like, I don't know if you have, but I haven't seen anything about any type of activities before, well, other than the Jonas Brother concert.
There's Jonas Brothers at between the periods or before the game or some shit like that. Yeah.
You know,
like that's
nothing.
the Jonas Brothers. That doesn't do anything for us.
Yeah.
That's not a hockey thing. Sirens going by.
That sounded like it was coming from Vegas. Remember,
it could be. I
it's
don't
a
know.
window.
Maybe they
it's
found the coyote. Maybe they found the coyote.
There you go. Hopefully, you didn't have a Acme rocket on him. I had to.
I get it. I applaud the attempt. The execution needs a little work.
I exploded like the Acme rocket.
But yeah, like so we talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
about how bad the NHL is marketed. The NFL is great at that, and that's something to be emulated and looked at. And like I said, so I think Goodell gets way too much shit from people at large for what his job is, for what he does. Again, look at the NFL now. Yeah. It's like a lot of people have a recency bias. They don't, they're like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, the NFL is like this. No, the NFL has grown so much in the last 15, 20 years. And you think about that in 15 to 20 years from now, where is it going to be? Like, so it's, well, I'll be dead. So, but
I'll be around to watch the Eagles and the Cowboys play on the moon or something like that by this point. It's a possibility. You never know. 15 years from now, we finally got our hoverboards from Back to the Future. Come on now.
So anyway,
we talked a little bit before the show. The Pro Bowl skills competition. Did you see all the skills other than dodgeball or?
No, I went in and out. I checked it a little bit for certain things. Listen, I like this iteration. Listen, everybody wants to bitch and complain. Oh, this is stupid. Why is anybody doing it? This is dumb. Does anybody remember what the Pro Bowl was?
Yeah.
Before, like last year, like when they were playing the game. There's a reason why they moved to this, because nobody did. It was the biggest piece of ass that ever was. It was a joke.
Yeah. It
was boring, and that's the biggest thing. It was like, not only did they not give any effort, it was just a slog. Why are we watching? Like, there was no point to watching. This is kind of taking a little bit of that NHL element. Like, we're talking about the NHL trying to steal stuff from the NFL. This is the NFL taking something from the NHL, which we've been trying to say for a while that they should have done.
Yeah.
And doing the skills competition and having these things, because that at least shows, the players. I mean, people aren't just competitive people as it is. So yeah, players don't want to get hurt, and they don't want to play in a game where they're going to get hurt when you're making millions of dollars and da-da-da. I get it. But like, if you put something like, a passing competition, you put things like, like that lineman competition with moving the weights and then pulling the sleds and stuff like that. Like, then you get a sense of almost personal pride.
Yeah.
And so people start doing that. I liked the kick-tack-toe. I did.
That one I missed.
Thought that was fun and interesting.
Yeah.
With kickers doing that. I enjoyed a lot of what they had. I think they need to tweak some stuff. I think some stuff needs to be not put in there and other stuff put in there. Maybe put more stuff in front of a crowd instead of having it kind of being deadly silent.
Yeah.
And some of those elements that they had there. But overall, I mean, I enjoyed it. And I like the flag football game. It's a lot more fun.
I tuned in late to the flag football game. I tuned in, I want to say, beginning of the fourth quarter. And I don't think I've watched a Pro Bowl game in a couple of years. And when I turned it on and I saw, I believe it was like 50 56-49 or 56-60, something like that, like a real high score. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then, you know,
It used to be the score of the regular Pro Bowl game anyway, when they were in pads and supposedly trying, which they weren't. At least in the flag football game, they were.
You got to give kudos to the Mannings. They also made it fun for a fan end.
That's the point. And that's what I mean. That's the thing with the Pro Bowl. The best thing that can happen for them right now, also, on top of everything, is getting it back to Hawaii. Now, I understand they're demolishing Aloha Stadium because it was just crumbling.
Yeah.
And they don't have a stadium out there now. I know they're trying to build another one somewhere, because they don't have anything out there. But, like a lot, you hear a lot of players say, like, going to Orlando is not great. Like going to Phoenix, like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, now last year they went to Vegas, but obviously they could, Vegas is, I guess, okay. It's fun because it's Vegas and it is what it is. But, obviously they couldn't go there this year because of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, but like when you had like a trip to Hawaii and you just get to, that's basically a reward for a great season and you get to relax on the beach and do all that kind of stuff. I think that will also enhance it. That'll get a lot more people involved and interested in doing it. And maybe also upping the prize a little bit. Now I know like the winning flag football team, like the winning team got $88,000 each. So the NFC got $88,000, the AFC got $44,000 each. Like if you up that a bit, like if you make like $200,000 for the NFC and $100,000 for the AFC, whoever wins, or winner gets 200, loser gets 100. Like if you make it a little bit more worthwhile, I think you also get a lot more involvement and a lot more people trying to win. Like because then for these guys who make a lot of money, it's worth it.
I will say with the skills competition, if they're gonna take stuff out or keep something, I really liked the catching the punts.
The catch tag was okay. I think it was called that one. I forget who it was that he caught the 6 balls.
Yeah, I mean it got to the point that actually
the one with his, put the one between his knees to catch the other one. Like that again, fun, interesting. It was like, oh my god!
It actually got the wife cheering for the guy. It got a non-semi football fan to actually pay attention to what was going on and get off the phone and things like that. But
it was, and that's the thing. Make it fun. You make it interesting for people to watch. You make it fun and interesting for the participants. As long as you make it fun and interesting for all parties involved, people will watch and people will enjoy it, and it will be a thing. And there will always be some crackhead assholes on X, Twitter, whatever, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on whatever, that's going to bitch and moan about it. This is not the football I grew up with. They should be in pads and hurting the child. Sean Taylor almost killed a guy. Why aren't we doing that? Because that's not fucking fun.
Yeah.
And if you saw after that, like after that play, after the Sean Taylor play where he blew up the punter.
Yeah.
Like after that is when it turned into two-hand touch.
Yeah.
After that is when everybody just stopped playing. And it became fucking impossible to watch.
Yeah.
It became visual ambient. It was fucking atrocious. So people that are actually sitting there bitching that they want to have an actual Pro Bowl game, shut the fuck up. Because either you're too young to remember how fucking awful the Pro Bowl was.
Yeah.
Or you're just too old and think everything should go back to the way it was. Where my day, Jim Brown used to run over you. Who gives a fuck? It's not 1972 anymore. It's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As much as tough guys being tough and go. It's not that league anymore. And not only that, but the contracts have surpassed what it was. Like the Pro Bowl used to be a pretty nice bonus if you won.
Yeah.
Because contracts used to be not that big. So if you got to the Pro Bowl and you played and you won the Pro Bowl, you got a pretty decent bonus on top of your regular salary.
Yeah.
Now, like looking at what everybody's bonus was for winning the Pro Bowl, are you going to run somebody over for what is essentially 0.1% of what your fucking salary is?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, no. I tried. Like that's what I'm talking about. You know, oh, they should have tried. I'm sorry. I'm not going to blow my knee out for pride. That's not going to happen.
And that's the thing too, is that with this this year's game, I mean, it came down to the last second, and it wasn't like you said. It wasn't like, you know, I'm going to block you a little bit here as you try to catch the ball. Like the dude dove in front of the ball, knocked the ball away. Like they were diving. They're like, yeah,
there was some great cornerback play. There was great move. Like it was a fun, entertaining, lighthearted game that it kept on watching. I flipped back and forth with a couple things, but I watched.
I was interested. I do think Ray Lewis will not be asked to come back though.
Dude, he was. But that's it. But see, that's another thing that I like though.
Yeah.
Because you saw that there's a competitive fire.
Yeah.
There's a competition. Somebody, you know, they people, for as fun and as lighthearted as it is, they still want to win.
Yeah.
You know. Now again with Ray, maybe calm down. Don't get so murderous. We know what happens when you get angry.
That's what I was thinking. Ref, you better start running.
But it was like, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing that, him getting pissed and upset at a bad call, that what he thought was a bad call. With it, and you know, like he's back there. That's not he wasn't. That's not a fake blitz. He was doing a blitz at that. Like, you know, that I enjoyed that, and I think most people watching at home did too. I think that's what they need to do.
Yeah,
get people in there that have that kind of. It's fun. This is great. Yeah, but I want to beat that fucking team. Fuck them. You know, like that's the dual part of it. And it is that. It's getting there. Yeah. I think, again, this is a new concept. It's only the second year they've done it. They're working out the kinks. They're finding out how things work. But the flag football works. I think some of the skill competitions work. I love the kick-tack-toe. I think that works. Get that in front of people, though. Yeah. I think you got to get more people of that in front of it. I think that works pretty cool. You know, obviously some of the quarterback ones, the catch one they can probably do without. Yeah, you know, the most spectacular catch or whatever it was, especially since I don't think anybody caught a fucking ball. So
I think they said one person out of all of them, and it was like the third attempt that they did to
right.
It.
So I think that one we can look at maybe either retooling or just getting rid of.
Yeah,
but overall, like I enjoy it. I really do like it. So. I think that's something that they need to, you know, go on. And anybody out there that, again, is bitching and moaning, this is the thing. All right. I don't mean to go off on a rant.
No, not you.
I've done that a couple times now. And this might be a little bit like last week's. I cannot stand the people who, like, there's so much bitching and fucking moaning, Jimbo. There's so much of it. Anywhere you go. About the NFL. Oh, this is this. Oh, this is that. Oh, I'm tired of this. Why are they covering this? Why are they doing this? Oh, this is rigged. Oh, the Chiefs again. Oh, this is bad. Oh, the Niners are going to be bad. Oh, this is going to be terrible. Oh, Taylor Swift. Oh, Kelsey sucks. Oh, I like Kelsey. Oh, kid, I hope he beats him. Oh, I hope this guy brings. Oh, this guy sucks. Oh, this is what. Oh, Goodell doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, Goodell this is it. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, the NFL scripted. Oh, this is. Like it never stops, and I know it's a loud minority of people. I know it's not what it is because again, we watch the numbers. We see the numbers. I know how much I enjoy watching the game. And we know how much everybody enjoys watching the game. Good, bad, indifferent, whether your team's in it or not. We just love watching the game. Good calls, bad calls. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is rigged. It's not fucking rigged. All right? Yeah. It's not rigged. It's not scripted. It's not any of this shit. But people who say this are the dumbest motherfuckers in the entire goddamn world. Oh, this is so rigged. Really? Why is it rigged? I want somebody to come to me with a logical explanation for how the NFL, a beyond multi-billion-dollar company with players who are making millions, tens of millions of dollars, officials that make millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars doing their job.
Yeah.
With all the money that goes around, with everything like that, and with just the mere specter of something being rigged or untoward would make the whole thing crash down. Where is your proof Where is your smoking gun of anything being rigged or something being scripted? I want to see it. I want to see this shit. Otherwise, shut the fuck up about it. I'm done with it. It's awful. All the fucking time. That's all you see online. That's all you see on fucking X. That's all you see on Facebook. That's all you see on TikTok. Oh, this is scripted. Oh, this is scripted. Oh, this is scripted. Oh, this is so rigged. How? Oh, they must have paid off the refs. Who's paying the refs? And who's going to pay a ref enough to where a ref will lose his entire livelihood? Not just his refereeing job, but whatever other job he has. Like a lot of these guys are lawyers or insurers. Yeah. Who's going to go to a lawyer who was seen to be taking bribes or taking money from the NFL or from an NFL owner for an NFL team to have something go his way?
Yeah.
And I know that you want to say that. Where's the proof? Show it. Show anything. Show anything that's any fucking proof of anything that you say. Oh, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. That's clearly just made by the NFL and by the marketing people to go ahead and push the product. Show me the proof of it. Where do you get it? Other than just look at it. Just look what they're doing. Yeah, the biggest media star in the fucking world and the biggest fucking sports media company in the world. You think the NFL is going to pass up that opportunity?
Yeah.
To market the fact that fucking one of their players is banging Taylor Swift? Look what it's done. Look what it's done for the ratings. Look at any of the game ratings that where Taylor Swift was at. They're fucking enormous fucking ratings. You know why? Because it's pulling in young girls, young women, young adults to watch the game. People that normally wouldn't are now exposed to the NFL. And you want to know something else? If you see a lot of the other shit, they're actually liking it.
Yeah.
They're actually know what's going on in the game. They're asking the right questions. They have, hopefully, some of the good people in their lives are actually teaching them about the game, not fucking trying to gatekeep it and make them feel like shit for not, oh, you don't know that? Well, you're just stupid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've seen that shit too.
Yeah.
Like, if you're one of those motherfuckers that are like, oh, these girls, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know. It's your job as a seasoned fan to teach people who don't know the game about the game if they're interested.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to you and asks, oh, I know Taylor Swift is there. Oh, and they're watching the game. Like, well, what is that? And what is that? Why do they do that? What's the 10 yards? What's all that? Instead of going, oh, dumb bitches, they don't know what you're talking about, which I've seen plenty of fucking people do online. No, that's when it's your job to go, well, this is it. They have 10 yards to go, and you have 4 downs to do it. And usually if you're not close enough on the 4th down, you punt the ball, and you explain the game.
Yeah.
For me, that's half the fun. I love doing that shit.
Yeah.
That's my time to shine. I get to flex some of my knowledge and be like, here we go. This is the rule. I'll tell you the history of this rule. I'll tell you how it was, how it used to be, how it is now, all this shit. Like, that's what it should be. So that's another thing. And it's always the same fucking people who bitch about shit being rigged and scripted are the same people who complain about that, like trying to get new fans in the game. Oh, they haven't been fans their entire life, so fuck them. Fuck you. Fucking scumbags. I'm fucking tired of them.
Yeah.
Tired of them. This is Super Bowl fucking weekend. This is when this is our, our holiday, our St. Patrick's Day, our 4th of July. This is our day, our Thanksgiving, our Christmas, all of our holidays put into one as a football fan. And this is when we also open the doors and welcome people in and say, hey, guess what? I know you might just be here to watch commercials, or this year, I know you're here to see commercials and Taylor Swift, but come in. We embrace you. Let us teach you about this lovely game that we have and build even more fans and better fans.
Yeah.
Instead of bitching and moaning like little fucking babies, how about we fucking do what we're supposed to do as fans and embrace other people and make them fans when they get interested? Like, that's the thing that blows my mind is people are trying to shit on young girls, young women, and these young adults who are being exposed to football for the first time because of this pop singer.
Yeah.
That nobody, I don't like her. I hate how much they show her. Yeah, 44 seconds of fucking airtime. You hate how much they fucking show her. You fucking asshole. Like, grow the fuck up.
I just hope for your sake, you said that where's the proof? Where's the proof? I hope for your sake this Super Bowl game does not go into double overtime.
I did see that from that was the president of CBS who said that. Yeah.
Yeah. The NFL told him that's
Dude,
going to
if
go
that
double.
has, dude, this is why it's always better to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, even if you're
Because
just
then
joking.
if that does somehow happen,
Yeah.
it'll never end, and it will be the freakiest coincidence of all time.
Yeah.
But nobody will buy it. Nobody would buy it.
So, you just went on a little rant about giving knowledge and everything. Let me ask you this, because I can't remember. Has there ever been an overtime Super Bowl game
Yes.
lately? 'Cause I can't remember.
Yes. How do you not remember this, Jimbo?
There wasn't the Eagles and the Patriots.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't last year.
No,
Or
it
was
wasn't.
Okay, so it's not the Eagles. So I don't
You
feel
were
that
close.
bad.
You were close on the Eagles one.
The Patriots and Eagles? Oh,
That was
2004.
Patriots and Eagles.
Which one?
No, not 39. It wasn't 39. Now you're too far. Now you've gone
Okay.
too.
Which one am I missing? Granted,
There's only been one Super Bowl game that's gone to overtime.
and I refuse to
It's
Google.
maybe the most famous Super Bowl that of the last 10 years. How?
San Fran and Chiefs?
No.
I'm just going through the games through my head for the past 10 years now. I'm stumped.
How are you stumped on this? It was a rather eventful evening for both of us.
Oh shit. Was that the Falcons and
There
Patriots
you
game?
go.
Fucking scumbag. I had to throw my Brian Dawkins awesome looking jersey away.
Yep. We missed Lady Gaga because of that asshole.
Did you see that meme coming out now too?
What's that?
With Lady Gaga. So obviously Travis Kelce is dating Taylor.
Right.
I think it's obviously not George Kittle because he's married.
You are terrible at describing memes. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Maybe it's the Detroit Lions rookie should start dating Lady Gaga for next year and they'll make it to the Super Bowl. That type of thing. I'm just gonna stop describing memes.
You had to be there. It was funny when it was there. But yeah, Jimbo, the famous what was that? 27-3?
28-3, 15 minutes to go.
With not even because it was right at the end of the third quarter. I think the Patriots scored a touchdown, but they missed the 2 points, or whatever. So it was
because the Falcons social media team on Twitter, which was Twitter at the time, posted 28-3, 15 minutes to go.
28-9. It was 9.
Was it 9?
Yeah, at the end of the quarter, It was 9. But still, you had that lead. Patriots came all the way back, tied it up, went to overtime. Patriots got the ball first, and they went down and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that was the end of the game. The Falcons never got to touch the ball again. The biggest collapse in Super Bowl history, and you might say in football history, in sports history. I know it's not point-wise not the biggest collapse, but holy shit! And that was Dan Quinn, and now he's the coach of Washington. So I'm interested to see how that goes. But
with Rex Ryan being interviewed at Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas is interviewing a couple of people there for that. I know Wink got an interview down there with them.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, if that happens, Dallas will just blitz, and then they'll blitz. So, good job, Wink. Good, man never met a blitz he didn't like. But yeah, so there has been an overtime. There has been an overtime. We've seen a lot of things in these last 10 years in the 50s here of the Super Bowl era. Because there used to be there was no Super Bowl where the home team played in their home stadium.
Yeah.
And we had 2 back-to-back this already.
Yeah.
We had the Buccaneers play at Raymond James in 54, and then the Rams played in 55 at SoFi.
Yeah.
There wasn't an overtime until 51, where the Patriots beat the Falcons. So a lot of things dropping now. Here in this
So
in this.
let me ask you this about this game.
Okay.
It's been a while since we had back-to-back champions. I guess in a way, I'm asking your prediction. I didn't mean to come.
I was going to say, are we at the
early.
prediction part of the show already? Is this where we are, or do you want to hold off on that?
Let's hold off on that because I know what I want to ask. So, but let's actually talk about the game a little bit here. Like, compare them, see how you feel.
Okay.
Chiefs wise, defensively, do you think they'll have a harder time stopping McCaffrey or the offensive wide receiver weapons?
Here's the thing: like the Chiefs' defense is the better defense in this game.
Okay.
This is where it becomes hard, to see if there's a team that can stop CMC, it's the Chiefs. If there's a team that can kind of bottle up all the weapons that San Francisco does have, it's the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs defense matches up well with the Niners. I think the Niners are still going to score points.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs just have to make sure that if they get the Niners down, they don't let them back up. They don't do what the Packers did, that they don't do what the Lions did, that they're able to go ahead and keep them down, keep the foot on the throat. Don't make bad decisions. Don't let them back in the game.
Yeah.
Keep them bottled up. Keep them go. Like if San Francisco is able to get off to a good start, a hot start, a fast start, again, I think that changes a lot of things. But I like the Chiefs' defense against that Niners offense, at least in comparison to what goes on the other side of the ball.
Yeah. And going with that, I know we talked a little bit about last week about how surprising Nick Bosa really hasn't shown up too much. Chase Young hasn't shown up. I really don't even think at all.
He's got a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. And this is the thing. That Niners defense has not been good.
No.
It hasn't been good. And that is that's something that needs to be corrected. If they want to win this game, it has to be corrected.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, their run defense is awful. And that little ball of hate Pacheco will run all over them.
Yeah.
He will straight up murder them. I'm not sure how they match up with Kelsey.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Now, again, the Chiefs have a bit of a receiver problem, as in they have receivers that drop the ball.
Well, no, your buddy Tony said he's the number one guy.
As we've seen with these playoffs, Rice has kind of stepped his game up a bit, and he's kind of become a little bit of a more dependable receiver there for Mahomes. Kelsey has stepped his game up and has played a lot better in the playoffs than he ever did during the regular season.
Yeah.
So there's that. And like I said, you have Pacheco there in the backfield who has I love the way he runs. He runs mad. He's got like a Super Mario kind of run to it. Like it's comical. It's funny, but he does it. He gets the job done. You know what I mean? And I really do like him. Plus, he's a Rutgers boy, so Jersey. There we go. And again, that Niners defense in this postseason and to end the season has not been great.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Looking at it that way, like that Niners defense is going to have to play out of their mind. Like Nick Bosa's going to have to beat maybe one of the better offensive lines in the league, get to Mahomes. You have to get to Mahomes. You have to stop the run by any means. And that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And then, because that's the problem, is like if you do that, you're going to leave Kelsey open. And Kelsey is, especially in these playoffs, he could be a dagger. Like that AFC Championship game, he was the key. He was the key to the win. You have to stop him. You have to stop Pacheco. And that's the two biggest issues there. And then if you stop them, if Rice continues the way he's played this postseason, he's a third option. He's a legitimate third option.
Okay.
If I'm the Chiefs, I don't dress Kadarius.
Yeah.
I keep him off the field. No matter how much drama that brings, keep that motherfucker off the field.
Yeah.
Put him in a press box. I don't care. Do not let him on the field. I wouldn't let him on the field in street clothes. Just the guy is poison.
Yeah.
The guy is toxic. Send his ass home if I could. You know, like them having him there in practice with the team. Not sure about that, but whatever. Andy knows what he's doing. You think, you hope.
And the thing with that, you know, going back to the Niners defense, listen to the one Chiefs beat writer or 49ers beat writer talking about how the Niners gave up 150 some yards rushing in that first half against the Lions, and the adjustment they made was basically more on the offense than the defense, so that way the offense would have the ball longer. I don't think the Niners will have a chance to hold on to that ball longer. I think the Chiefs are a better team than Detroit, and I think they'll be able to keep the Niners defense on the field longer than what Detroit did, which is what they want to, obviously want to do.
Well, the Chiefs have a better defense. The Chiefs' defense is the key here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the 49ers have weapons. CMC is going to get his.
Yeah.
Debo's going to get his. Kittle's going to get his. But I think the Chiefs are better equipped to keep them bottled up than anybody that the Niners have played so far. And that's saying something because, again, for 3 quarters, the Packers were able to do that. And for a half, the Lions were able to do that. Now, granted, also, the Niners got extremely lucky with the Lions. Yeah. They got a fumble on the 1-yard line. They got that ridiculous bounce off the face mask of the Lions cornerback catch that was caught downfield. So they had a lot of things bounce their way.
Yeah.
That helped them out there too, which if that doesn't happen, we're talking about the Lions and the Chiefs here.
Yeah.
So like when me looking at it, it's a simple thing of, I think you have a spectacular San Francisco offense against a really good, spectacular Kansas City defense. And I think you have a Kansas City offense that does what it has to do to get the job done against a 49ers defense that has shown to have plenty of holes this entire postseason. I think if the Niners want to win, they have to change one of those elements in order to push themselves past in this game. Can they fix that defense? Can they get stops when they need to? Can they get Mahomes and Kelsey and Pacheco off the field? Because that's the thing with having Pacheco there, with having Kelsey there. That's the Chiefs for the last couple of years have been known for doing big plays and getting chunk yardage. This year, especially this postseason, they're a grind team.
Yeah.
They will grind down the field. They will eat clock. And if you can't get them off the field, you're going to put yourself in a bad situation, especially then if your offense goes out there and gets a 3-and-out. Or you get, you only get 1 first down and then have to punt. Like that's not like you're going to have to change it. So I think for me, obviously with anything, I'm a big believer of offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. I think it's all going to come down to which defense plays better, which defense gets the offense off the field, and who's able to control the pace of the game and who's able to get time of possession. I think the biggest factor in this whole game is going to be time of possession.
I totally agree with that. So with that being said, I think we should do our last picks of the NFL year. Super Bowl
last picks. This is our pick. Where's pick?
Last
pick.
Well,
the year.
Until Sunday, and then my buddy texted me a drunken bet that he probably did on DraftKings or something. Oh, look at that. Speaking of DraftKings on TV.
There you go. So do
I
you
will
want
let
to
you
go
go-
first, or
No, I'll let you go first because what I was going to ask earlier was, do you think the Chiefs will go back to back for the first time in how many years? I mean, it's been a long time since we had a
the
back-to-back
last
champion.
back-to-back was the Patriots in Super Bowl 38 and 39.
So 15-ish years.
So we're talking almost well, no, because this is Super Bowl 58. So you're talking 19 years.
Holy shit! Yeah.
It's been 19 years since the last back-to-back championship, 2005. That was. Or 2000. Well, yeah, it was 2004 season, but it was 2005. Well,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, my breakdown of the game is this, and we just talked about it a little bit there, where I think it's defense is the key. I still think CMC is going to be the guy. He's going to get his touches. He's going to get his yards. He's going to break one, maybe two.
Okay.
I think he is set and he is ready for this game. I think this Niners team is, for as much as you have some of the same players on there, as far as Kittle and Debo and some of these other guys, I think there is, it's a different team than the Chiefs played 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And then there's the story of Brock Purdy, which I love, and as a true underdog story with Brock, Mr. Irrelevant, doing all this stuff, and as much shit as people still shit on him for some, he's a system quarterback. Yeah, the same system that Trey Lance couldn't do, and that Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't do.
Yeah, same numbers.
Oh, they got to a Super Bowl with Garoppolo. Yeah, but look what happened with him.
Yeah.
Look what happened with him in there. And listen, if Garoppolo was so good in the system, why is he still not there?
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. So I think Purdy is the guy. I do.
Okay.
And I enjoy watching him. I enjoy watching these 49ers. As much as I hate the 49ers, being a Giants fan, they are a fun team to watch. And I don't think I'd go as far as to say I would root for them or that I want to root for them, but I wouldn't be upset if they won.
Okay.
I mean, come on, how great would it be to see Brock Purdy get the Super Bowl MVP after just 2 years ago being Mr. Irrelevant in the draft? Like, what a fucking, like, you think Tom Brady becoming Tom Brady after being, picked in the 6th round is a hell of a story.
Yeah.
Like, here's the guy who is the very last pick in the draft, then becoming, like, that would be great.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen again.
Okay.
And I think the reason is because of defense. We could talk about Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Pacheco and as all that we want. And again, I like Pacheco. I think he's going to be a big part of this game as well. But I think that Niners defense is a problem. And unless they do something drastically different than they've done this entire postseason, where they've kind of looked exposed, and especially against Steve Spagnuolo, you gave that man 2 weeks to prepare for you. I mean, there is maybe not a better defensive coordinator in the last 20 years in the NFL than Spags.
Yeah.
And again, I love him. He got us the 2007 championship against Brady. Had a great game plan, won that. Ever since he's been on Kansas City staff, look at what Kansas City's done.
Yeah.
And again, this year they have one of the top NFL defenses. So with that being said, I think it's the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win this Super Bowl. I think we get our first back-to-back in 19 years. And now you start, and if that happens, now you have to start with the Mahomes Brady talk. I think now it's like, oh, the Chiefs are there all the time and they're here all the year, and they have 6 straight AFC championship games. They're in their 4th Super Bowl. They've won 2. Like if they go 2-2 in the Super Bowls, it's like, No, they're good. They're a dominant team. They're always there, but they're not quite. They're not Patriots level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if they do win this one, I think that changes the conversation. And then we go right from the Patriots dynasty. Now, we're right into the Kansas City dynasty.
Yep.
And I think that's where I'm going to go with that. So I go Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins.
One last prediction for you. Question for you: does Travis ask Taylor to get married?
No, stop. No, that's going to be. I'm gonna answer that later.
Okay.
We're gonna do that later.
Okay.
We're gonna have a little bit of that later.
So
yeah, let's go with you.
As far as I go, honestly, today was the first time I actually started thinking about who I think is going to win, and my issue that might kind of surprise you that I've been having is I kept saying the Chiefs, but do I think they're going to win, or am I picking them because I want them to win so I don't have to listen to 40 whiners, cry about the practice field, that's why we lost, this and blah, blah, blah.
It was spongy.
It was spongy. And little side note, like I when they say it was spongy, I'm thinking like it's filled up with water, like poke a hole in it and watch it deflate.
Like, do you ever see those videos like at the golf courses where like the water gets under the greens?
That's what I was thinking.
Like when they started talking, that's what I think about. I'm with you on that one.
But I think I agree with you. I think the Chiefs win. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be. I'm totally opposite now than I was 2 weeks ago. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think it's going to be a good game. Even though I
flip flop a couple times, I have in thinking who I think would win, who I might want to win, who all this kind of things. Like I don't have a team. I think here's the thing. I don't think I have a team that I want to win.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not not a big fan of either.
Yeah.
But I've gone back and forth thinking about, well, this looks good and they look good and this looks good and I like Brock and I this and I like that and that. But at the end, I think you have to look at it from that observational point. And just like you, I think looking at it strictly observationally, I don't think there's another outcome I can think of other than the Chiefs win.
The only way this game turns into a boring, I'll even go as far as saying blowout win for the Chiefs, is if they get up early by 2, definitely by 3 touchdowns before the first half's over. I think the Niners will crumble in the second half if that were to happen.
No, because here's the thing: the Niners have a history of coming back with those big leads.
But this is a totally different team than the Lions
I agree with that as well.
The Packers.
But I think even if it is high scoring, even if it is one way, I think it'll still hold some kind of entertainment value.
Yeah.
I just hope we don't get what was it, 53 with the Patriots and Rams?
Yeah.
Where I think, what was that, 13-6 or something? Like that was the most boring ass Super Bowl since 27. Like that one was garbage.
Which was funny because they both had good offense, like really, really good offenses.
Yeah, they were both really good. They were both really, really good, and none of them could score points. That was I remember for halftime, we skipped that halftime show.
Yeah.
Me and Jackie, and we ended up watching. I think WWE NXT had like a Super Bowl halftime wrestling match.
Yeah.
So we watched that instead, and like that was the most entertaining part of the night was WWE. So hopefully we don't get that.
Yeah.
Granted, I would wish they were doing some kind of wrestling thing because Usher's going to suck ass, but
unless a special guest shows up.
Unless there's no special guest that's going to make what Lil Jon's going to show up. That's it. That's it. And as much as I love Lil Jon, he ain't going to save the halftime. That's not going to happen.
I'm making a prediction. I think Taylor's going to sneak out for a song.
No, she's not. She's just going to be getting back from Japan. Again, she's going to be able to. I think she's getting back the night before. She's got to sleep off that jet lag. Plus, after having performed 3 straight nights, she already performed this morning.
Yeah.
It's international dateline, a lot of shit. Anyway, so she's got all that going on. And not only that, but with all the planning that has gone involved and all this stuff. Plus, there's no connection between Usher and Taylor Swift. There's none. So
except for a surprise.
She's there to watch the game. She's there to support her man. She's going to be wearing. The thing I find funny is that is she going to wear like some outfit or clothing that was made by the wife of the fullback of the team that her husband is playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because
Imagine that.
Kyle Juszczyk's wife is the one that made all her cool jackets and shit that she
Yeah.
wore. So now that makes me wonder.
Imagine if the Chiefs win and she goes down the field. Oh, thanks for a jacket. Yeah, you stupid bitch.
Cat fight.
Yeah.
I might take what's her name? Is it Caitlin Juszczyk?
Yeah.
I think it might be Caitlin. I'm not. I feel bad that I don't remember exactly what her name is, and I feel bad. So Kyle Juszczyk, please don't murder me because you are a very large. I don't know if you saw the who was it? Him and Christian McCaffrey on the practice field in Santa Clara.
Okay.
During the bye week, they were just kind of messing around and stuff. Dude, Kyle Juszczyk is just beefed out like ridiculous.
He's
so that is not a person that I would ever want to willingly or even accidentally insult him or his beautiful wife, who she is very lovely, very beautiful wife, very talented with all the stuff that she does. So, but that would be interesting. She might be able to take Taylor in a fight, although Taylor doing all her workouts for the tour and everything like that, she's gotten pretty jacked too. So
yeah, but like you said, there's going to be jet lag. There's going to be some.
That's the thing. When you come into it, that jet lag might be a big factor if it comes to a fight. So she might have to watch out.
All right. Before we go, we're going to do
now. This is the big one. I like this. I like what we're going to do here.
A new type of prediction pick. It's our.
It's not really new. It's just it's for this because it is Super Bowl 58, as you can see by all the cool stuff happening over here in Vegas. So special segment.
Yes.
Special Super Bowl segment. Brought to you by your good friends at Dubby, by the way.
Hey, I didn't mess up the pointing part.
Yeah, see. But yes, our good friends at Dubby going to go ahead and do this this nice little segment for us. It's kind of a prediction segment, which we kind of already did.
Yes.
It's a little different. It's a little different, isn't it, Jimbo?
Yes. Taking it like a little step further.
It's a little step further. This is our Dubby Be Better predictions. Brought to you again by Dubby. If you go to dubby.gg, get all the things you want there from Dubby. By the way, great stuff. Great energy drink there. No sugar. Doesn't give you the crash. Has neurofactor, which is going to help us with this. The neurofactor going to help us see the future.
Yes.
It's going to help us see everything that's in front of us here. And go ahead. Dubby can help you out with that. But if you do go to dubby.gg, get all the stuff that you need from Dubby. In the checkout, you put in ST Sports 18 in the promo box. That's ST Sports 18, all capital letters. You're going to get 10% off of your entire order. Jimbo, it is time for our Dubby Be Better predictions. What do you got?
So I was toying with both these ideas, but obviously I'm only picking one. And then I'll explain what I thought maybe the other one would be. I'm going with Travis Kelce as MVP.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, you were going to do it too? But here's my little twist. I think he's going to have 2 receiving touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, and 105 yards receiving.
Son of a bitch.
My other one was going to be Pat Mahomes with a receiving touchdown, just because all week Philly's been popping up. It's been 6 years since Philly. You know, Nick Foles memes, the Tom Brady memes. My husband doesn't catch footballs, and there's the Philly Nick Foles saying "Hold my beer." So Travis Kelce, 2 receiving touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, 115 yards receiving.
Son of a bitch. I really hate you because that's pretty much on the nose what I was going to predict. Because I was going to say I think Kelce gets. I was going to say 3 catching touchdowns.
Okay.
I don't know if he was going to. I listen, he might get a passing touchdown. I think he does throw the ball at least once in this game. Again, Super Bowl, Andy loves throwing everything against the wall when it comes to a Super Bowl. And Travis loves throwing the ball. He's a good passer. He is. I think, wasn't he like a high school quarterback or some shit like that?
Something like that.
So, I think there is that. So I honestly think Travis does get MVP. I think he gets 3 receiving touchdowns, I might change that to just 3 total touchdowns.
Okay.
But again, like you were saying, I don't know. Maybe he gets a rushing touchdown.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I don't know. But I think he gets MVP. I'll say 127 receiving yards. And yes, I think this is what happens. He gets the MVP.
Okay.
He's on the field. He's on the stage. Everything's great. They're doing everything like that. He gets off the stage, though. He's down there celebrating with everybody. And, of course, his family's down there. Mama Kelsey. Everybody loves Mama Kelsey. Jason's going to be there. Shirt on, shirt off. Not quite sure. We'll see how he'll play it by ear. We'll see. It is Vegas, although it's kind of cold there, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All this stuff. Clearly, Taylor will be there as well. And then goes down, gives her a hug. I say, you're supposed to give her a hug. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, everything like that. Gets down on the knee, pulls it out. Bang. Guess who gets a ring before anybody else? You do. Becomes a huge media storm. People lose their goddamn minds. Dude, you want to talk about insanity? People are going to lose their shit, whether they love it or hate it. People are going to lose their shit. He does that. He also announces that he's going to retire.
That part I do agree.
Him and Jason go into the Hall of Fame 5 years from now together.
Jason is not retiring.
Give it up, Jim.
Nope.
Give it up.
I've seen his quotes, especially from the Pro Bowl. Told a fan I'm trying to not retire. So he's not retiring. But I will take your prediction about the Travis Kelce Taylor thing. He does not do that off to the side. He does that right on stage.
No. I don't think he does it on stage. I don't think he does it. You know what I see in my head?
What's that?
I see the remember what was that about? I want to say 15, 20 years ago, the Boise Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
When they won in overtime against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And then the guy ran right over to his cheerleader girlfriend, got down on a knee and proposed.
Yeah.
Had the ring with him, like in his football pants, I guess, or something like that. I see something like that. I see it either happen before or after the thing, but he's not going to do it on stage. I think that would be too much. I think he does it while they're all off the stage, and right there when everybody's just kind of like, "Oh, this is good." You see them celebrating, it's over. But I think you'll see that happen, and as that happens, boom, explosion. People are going to lose their shit. My wife is going to die.
Is she predicting it?
No, and I don't think she thinks it'll happen.
Okay.
But now I kind of want to see it happen just to see her lose her ever-loving mind. But that's my prediction. I think Kelce, MVP, 3 touchdowns. Overall, I'll hedge my bet with that. I'll just say 3 touchdowns total.
Yeah.
I won't say receiving, rushing, passing, whatever. He's responsible for 3 touchdowns.
See,
127 yards receiving. MVP, like I said.
Yeah.
And he gets himself a beautiful new fiance on the field to make the storybook ending that people will either love or hate. Either way, but it'll be it will be a hell of a way. And then I also think he retires and goes into the hole with his brother.
Just by himself. And hey, you know what? Maybe the NFL starts just like the WWE does and have a celebrity Hall of Fame wing, and Taylor could retire and go in with Travis in 5 years.
Do a contribution. Listen, Taylor has been a big contributor to the NFL this year. I think we're going to all agree on that, whether you like her or hate her.
Yeah.
The numbers say what the numbers say. So she just by her being there and being a football fan now and supporting her man has contributed a large number of brand new fans to the NFL, and has helped grow the game more than a lot of people have. So, bitch about it all you want, but, it is what it is. Love you, Tay-Tay.
Anyways. So I think that's it for...
Could you ever imagine a motherfucker like this, like acting like a... Well, here's the thing. I'm not a Swift. Because those motherfuckers
you're
are
getting
insane.
there.
No, they're fucking insane.
Like you're not conspiracy, looking for what's the next album name.
And I want the Swifties to understand this. I'm not trying to start no fights with you. I'm not trying to start no smoke because I don't want it. I don't want that smoke.
No, that's
Nobody
my job. That's my job.
You gotta, no, you don't want that smoke either. None of us want that smoke. But I think we can all agree that you all are a bit fucking unhinged, and that sometimes you need to touch grass and come back to reality. So, so I'm not there, but
Okay.
like, I'll tell you what, when you're Swiftie adjacent, like my wife is a Swiftie.
Yes.
So when you're adjacent to it and you just kind of, you're exposed to all that stuff, like I have such an appreciation for her artistically and other stuff like that, and just how she does. Plus, she's not bad to look at. I'm just gonna say, you get an appreciation for the amount of work that she puts into her songs, her art, the way she writes. She's not just, I had a breakup, I'm going to put another song in. Like that's an unfortunate reputation that she has, but and hey, she's got a new album coming out.
Yeah.
Which may have a lot to do with her ex-boyfriend. So she's not helping that out.
Or
she's
Brock
not helping out that. She's not helping that perception at all. But so I come in there. But can you just imagine someone that this ugly bald fucker is like, I like listening to a few Taylor Swift songs, man. She's got some good ones. So but there we go. That's Jimbo. This is it. This is the last one of the season, man.
Yeah. Now we're on to hockey and
curling.
Well, okay, yeah, that's true. We got curling. We'll have the Olympics and
the UFL coming up. UFL's coming up at the end of next month, right? March.
Yes. And I'm going to talk to you about that. I might have some ideas of maybe doing some live streaming ideas, but we'll see. We'll see.
I don't mind that. Like we'll try to do some more live streaming stuff.
Yeah.
Like WrestleMania is coming up.
Which a little disappointed. I'm one of those that is disappointed. Cody's not going to finish his story.
Bitches, you can never just let a story play out, can you? You got to always jump. You're always like, oh, we're going to do it. And then it's like when something happens and the story evolves the way it's supposed to, it's like, look what we did. Look what we did. It's like, they kind of had this set. Like Cody even put out there. Like you already said, listen, I love you guys. You guys are all great. But trust me. I
have some ideas of how he could still do it this year. He still could finish the story this year. But
there's a couple ways that it can happen. I agree.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of people already put some stuff out. I've had a couple ideas to put out. Like it's all there.
Yeah.
And because here's the other thing too, people wanted The Rock there, even as soon as last year.
Yeah.
Even with Cody coming back, people were clamoring to have Roman Rock, that Samoan tribal dynasty, head of the table fight. Like that's what people wanted. And now we come to this year and people were like, this is dumb. We don't want Rocky sucks. It's like, you assholes were the same ones that were screaming for it, not 12 months ago.
Yeah.
So, wrestling fans are fickle.
Just like NFL fans sometimes.
It kind of but worse.
Yeah.
Like wrestling fans are kind of there with Swifties as just being toxic, and they take the joy out of watching. Right? Like I try to remove myself. I'm trying to get and start watching a little bit more wrestling again.
Yeah.
Because I've been out of it for a while. Because a lot of it is because of the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Like it got so toxic. I couldn't enjoy watching the product because everybody shit on it. And it was like, so I try to remove myself from that. I unfollowed and blocked like a lot of the Wrestle Talk and Cultaholic and those assholes.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying, I don't pay attention to a lot of the stuff on Twitter, X, and stay away from that. And I'm just trying to enjoy it myself. Watch it with my own eyes. Do I like it? Do I not? I enjoyed the Rumble. I'm enjoying where a lot of these stories are going and things are happening. So that's how I'm trying to do it. I think other people should probably do that too. Unplug a little bit, touch some grass, watch it and enjoy it yourself. Don't worry about other people's opinions. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't get caught up in that nonsense. Just watch it and enjoy it for what it is. Whether it's football, wrestling, whatever the case is.
Exactly. So till next week, this is your good friend Jimbo.
And it is your boy King.
Go Chiefs.
I'm a tortured poet department chairman or something. Isn't that what she said? Huh?